Previously on the Canadian Rally Championship. Starting the second half of the season, the teams faced off on the oldest battleground in the championship's history, Rally des Filles. And from the start, it was an epic showdown between titans. His pace and consistency increasing with every event, Crazy Leo Erlichich fought hard and earned yet another podium. But disaster struck Patrick Richard. A tow and a disqualification, leaving no one to stand in the way of Antoine Lestage's fourth win of the season. Today, with the championship all but decided, the teams head west to Merritt, BC, to face the most perilous roads in the championship. The risks are as high as the mountains, and the fortunes can change in a heartbeat at the Pacific Forest Rally, right now, on Canada's sports leader, TSN. Hello, Canada. Vic Rutter along with TSN Rally analyst Paul Chater, and welcome to Canada's home of country music, Merritt, BC, where the scene is set for round 5 of the Canadian Rally Championship. This is, Paul, the Pacific Forest Rally.
The fast and treacherous roads here make for some of the best competition in the whole championship.
Oh, it's great to be back here in the BC roads here in Merritt. I love this event. It's a compact format. The roads are fantastic, and it should be a good weekend.
Yeah, the roads are really challenging here. There's a lot of gotchas, and there's some big drop-offs in some places, but they're very good stage roads.
Even my very experienced co-driver Martin Brady said that he has probably never seen a stage that has an exposure for so long as Princeton Cutoff, and he's done over 250 events.
Don't go off and keep it calm. Get through these night stages. Apparently they do have some big exposures, but we don't look at the exposure, we look at the road.
Yeah, a lot of drop-offs, but I'm used to it. I mean, they're mountainside roads, and they're really exciting. It should be a good show for the fans.
They're roads that I like to push on. Last year we won here. We had a great rally. In theory, we only need 3 points to clinch a championship, so now it's really time to think about the championship.
The goal this weekend is to push and see if we can squeeze in between the two champions.
It's got to be a win. Always going for a win. Hopefully we'll have a clean event, and that's what we need, and I'm looking forward to this event. I think we got a good shot.
With a combination of ridge roads and mountain passes reaching heights of 1,500 meters, the Pacific Forest Rally presents the teams with 16 special stages to test their bravery. Of all the events in the championship, this rally extracts the highest penalties for making mistakes. Only the experts dare push it to the edge.
The Canadian Rally Championship on TSN is brought to you by Subaru. Think, feel, drive Subaru. And heading from the safety of the lowlands, Paul, now to the dangers of the mountain. Even the risks ahead can't dampen Pat Richard's enthusiasm.
Life to me is a riverboat and a sea.
You gotta stay loose, huh? You gotta stay loose. And Paul Richard has a reason to be in a good mood.
Yeah, you bet he does, Vic. In addition to the Pacific Forest Rally being his home event, you can hear another reason for Pat to be enthusiastic this weekend through his intercom. After a 4-rally hiatus, champion co-driver Alan Ockwell is back in the car reading the notes.
And let's remember, they won 2 championships together.
2 championships over 3 seasons, 18 events, 12 podiums, and 8 wins together. Richard and Ockwell have proven time and again that they take the competition to a whole new level.
Ah, yes, but ready to meet the challenge is the Rockstar Royal Group team of Antoine Lestage and Untitled Richard.
The defending champions have dominated this season thus far with skill, consistency, and a little bit of luck. They've won the first 4 rallies this year and only need to finish 10th here to lock up their next spot on the Fiddler Cup.
Look at the gotchas as he describes it. Oh, you betcha. Hold on. I mean, he nearly catches the barrier. So even the experts can make mistakes.
Fortunately, that mistake only cost him a bit of time on these roads. The consequences can be much more severe.
All right, this is Crazy Leo Erlichich, and he has to be happy with the way his season has been going.
Since Leo brought co-driver Martin Brady to the team at the Rocky Mountain Rally, they've been on the podium at every event. With his newfound consistency, he's exploring ways to go faster with the help from his team. This includes a radically different pace note system and some high-end technical modifications to his car, such as a new sequential gearbox. You can see what gear he selected on the dashboard there.
And he does well enough to tie Lestage on stage 2 and win stage 3 outright. Okay, this is a former production GT champion. This is Hardy Schmidtke, a Western Rally veteran, today in a swap shop prepared Subaru. And there's a battle now between him and a young gun from Vancouver by the name of Max Riddle.
I don't think we've ever seen a more promising start to a rally career. This is Riddle's first year in the national championship, and he's already shown serious speed. A mistake early on at the Rocky Mountain Rally cost him a chance to collect points in his home region, but it seems like he's learned his lesson.
6 uphill.
And with Rocket Rally Racing supporting him, he has the tools he needs to be in the points hunt.
Yeah, the support extends beyond the excellent car they built for him and includes coaching from Pat Richard himself. The benefit of that experience is worth more than all the horsepower in the world.
6 right short and 4 plus left long.
And Paul, look at this. Crazy Leo proves to be more consistent on the opening stages than either Richard or Lestage. But look, 7 seconds covers the top 3. Coming up, the teams face one of the most treacherous stages in the entire championship.
Yeah, sometimes it's scary when I'm in a big battle with Pat.
A lot of hairpins, a lot of cliff drops.
I'm gonna try not to go off a cliff tonight.
More Pacific Forest Rally when we come back. Welcome back to the Pacific Forest Rally here on TSN. Nightfall in Merritt, and that brings the first service of the rally, and the teams are well aware that when the sun sets, there is little margin for error.
Yeah, sometimes it's scary when I'm in a big battle with Pat or something like that. Sometimes it can be scary. Just don't look at the drop-offs and it's okay. It's a road like another road, so it's not a problem. Not taking any chances, and I think we're third where I wanted to be. Everything's fine, the car's okay, so I'm happy.
And in his charge to the lead, Crazy Leo has picked up some damage.
Nah, that's nothing. That doesn't count. But I think first time ever, while the top people are still in the rally, we're actually leading. I'm going to try to keep it on the road first. I'm going to try not to go off a cliff tonight.
And the BC hero knows better than anyone the perils that lay ahead.
Yeah, coming up in the next group of stages is probably the toughest stage in the Canadian Championship. It's called Princeton Cutoff. A lot of hairpins, a lot of cliff drops. You really got to tiptoe through that one, but if you got the bit between your teeth, you can make up a lot of time on your competitors, and that's what we're going to try to do.
And young gun Max Riddle is mindful of the challenge.
Yeah, the mission today is to get through the night. Everybody says you get through Princeton and the rest of the rally should come at ease. So that's the plan, and it went really well, calm and collective, exactly what we need, and really clean.
And on the stages, well, Patrick Richard is putting that local knowledge to good use.
And experience on these roads is worth twice as much at night as it would be in daylight. It's easy for the shadows from the driving lights to trick the driver's eyes, making them second guess where the corners actually are. Success on these night stages requires a combination of road knowledge and trust in your co-driver.
And also, Paul, patience is something that you can add to the list. And for Crazy Leo, he's not known for patience.
That may have been true in the not-so-distant past, Vic, but between Martin Brady's consistency and coaching from Stuart Ho, I think Leo has graduated past the hot-headed stage.
As he jumps the cattle guard, a little show-off move there.
The Rockstar Royal Group team also likes to show off, but Antoine Lestage and Natalie Richard have their crosshairs fixed on the championship at the moment.
All right, be honest, though. They don't have to take any risks.
Exactly. And remember, Antoine and Natalie learned the hard way that bad luck can strike at any moment when the clutch broke on the last stage of 2009, costing them not only the win, but the Canadian and North American championships. It isn't over yet.
And proving that experienced driving at night does pay dividends. Look at this. Schmidtke pulls ahead of Riddle now up into 4th place.
While Schmidtke's time behind the wheel certainly helps, Riddle is also having trouble with his racing dog box transmission. The mechanism that allows the drivers to shift without using the clutch pedal takes a major beating in speed, but it's worth an extra second per kilometer. If they can make it back to service, the expert mechanics at Rocket Rally should be able to sort it out.
5 minus, tightens loose. 50.
And even with those transmission problems, Oregon's Mike Goodwin can't quite catch Riddle, although he's coming within a couple of seconds on each stage to solving the riddle.
He has, however, opened up a 10-second lead on Mark Jennings-Bates. He and co-driver Jennifer Daly broke down only 10 kilometers from the end of last year's Pacific Forest Rally, and they're looking for a cleaner result this time. But with fellow Subaru privateer J.C. Bourgeois less than 8 seconds behind, they'll have to work hard.
Yeah, but it's Richard's experience and skill outmatching Crazy Leo's bravery. He takes over the lead. Lestage is solidly in third. When we come back, Lestage is tempted to shrug off the conservative game.
As a driver, you just want to go hard to push a little bit and show them a little bit, you know.
And Richard shows the rest who's the boss at his home event, the Pacific Forest Rally on TSN. Welcome back to the Pacific Forest Rally. Vic Roeder along with Paul Chater here at the start of the second and final day of the rally. And Mother Nature, Paul, has decided to add her own challenge to the dangers of the ridge roads and the wet and slippery conditions, but the teams are ready for it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We got a comfortable lead. Just hope it's not too slippery. Should be fun and fast.
There are similar sentiments in the Rockstar camp.
Yeah, it's go time. The weather is perfect now, a little bit of rain, so it should be no dust. So hopefully we'll have a good run.
And the rain can't dampen Crazy Leo's energy.
I love these stages. We do it twice. So if anything, we can make some changes to the notes on the first pass and go harder on the second one. I love it.
If rally results were based solely on enthusiasm, Leo would have been champion a dozen times by now.
Yeah, but fortunately for the rest of the teams, to win here is a little bit more difficult than just that enthusiasm.
It won't be long before Leo has all the factors in place to complete that equation.
Hardy Schmidtke starting the day in fourth place, but he is starting to lose some precious seconds now to Max Riddle. Remember, we told you about his gearbox problems. He has those sorted out.
The Rocket Rally mechanics couldn't repair the racing transmission, so they swapped in a stock gearbox. Riddle will have to go the rest of the rally on the street spec 6-speed, but Max has also done a few races in the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup after taking the Skip Barber Racing School, so he knows his way around a traditional synchro gearbox.
When did he have time to compete in sports cars? I mean, he looks like he's barely out of high school.
Actually, Max is taking a break from his social science studies at the University of Calgary to compete in this championship.
And Paul, the battle between Schmidtke and Riddle is now stretching their lead over Mike Goodwin and Mark Jennings-Bates in their STIs. Riddle leads Goodwin by over 30 seconds. And Jennings-Bates is a further 50 seconds back in 7th. J.C. Bourgeois, well, he's out now on stage 11.
And in two-wheel drive, Calgary's SCHMIDTKE, who can usually be counted on for a strong finish, is off the road on stage 9.
And Paul, thankfully, he did it at one of the safer spots on the stage. Now that leaves Eric Grachowski and Leon Janilla to duke it out with the Zedril brothers. Both these are former two-wheel drive champs, and in the end, the Zedrils came out on top, locking up the two-wheel drive championship. Congratulations. Now back up with the leaders. Paul, and Crazy Leo is in fine form, but guess what? Antoine Lestage has moved past him now into second place.
You don't earn 3 spots on the Fiddler Cup without having a seriously competitive streak. After playing it safe through the night stages, it looks like he's flexing his muscles. He's won the first 2 stages this morning, but Pat Richard has also kept some speed in reserve and deploys it on stage 10. He nearly ties the defending champion's stage time, and that's amazing considering how worn Pat's tires are.
Now, I thought that both Richard and Lestage were running Yokohamas. Now, why would Pat's be more worn out than Antoine's, do you think?
The 2 former champions chose different tire compounds when they left service this morning. Richard chose the soft compound and Lestage took the medium compound. It was a tough call, one that's sort of equal parts science and art.
And while the art of the decision is up to the drivers, Yokohama has the science well and truly covered.
Yeah, Yokohama supplies us with the AO53 gravel rally tire.
There are 3 main compounds for the tire. There's a soft compound, a medium compound, and a hard compound.
And we'll normally use the medium on longer stages, or if it's really hot outside.
And depending on the temperature, the distance that you need to go, and how competitive you want to be, you might choose a softer compound over a medium compound. And again, it's just you're trading off wear for grip.
Normally, the softer the compound is, the better the grip is.
The medium and the harder compounds generally don't wear as fast as the softer compound. However, they have a little bit less grip than the softer compound, so you really need to go with the softest compound you can that won't wear out by the time you get back to service. So you have to sort of choose, depending on the weather and the road conditions, the right compound for the right strategy in the rally.
Yeah, in Yokohama, these tires are awesome. I mean, we can go hard everywhere on the rough stuff, and the compounds are great, so I'm really happy with that.
And now here they are, Paul, back at service, and the two former champion drivers, well, they are doing what they usually do, and that's lead the rally.
Went fine. They're a little bit slippery, but you know, we're just driving steady, matching pace with Antoine, making sure we keep the lead. I mean, we've got a pretty good lead, so as long as we have a steady drive, everything should be fine.
Well, I always like to battle, and it's always fun, and sometimes you, as a driver, you just want to go hard, but I have to be smart, and the main thing why we do this is to try to win championships, and that's what I want. I want to win the championship, but I like these stages, and I just wanted to push a little bit and show them a little bit, you know.
And despite some of his smoothest driving yet, Crazy Leo is down to third place.
Yes, we are, and two reasons for that. First, Antoine picked up the pace a little bit to have some fun, and also we had a little bit of a setup problem as well with suspension and possibly some boost issues. Nothing really major, so we're going to try to get it back to full power. Right now we're in third, but we're going to do our best to get back to second.
And so with only a few stages left, Patrick Richard is still your leader by 36 and change. Max Riddle is now right on SCHMIDTKE's heels in the battle for fourth. Coming up, the rally all comes together in the legendary Helmer stage.
It's one of the best in the Canadian Championship for sure.
It usually makes an exciting finish for the rally because anything can happen on that stage.
It's the conclusion of the Pacific Forest Rally when we come back. Welcome back to the Pacific Forest Rally here on Canada Sports Leader, TSN. And Paul, it looks like Mother Nature is finished with the rain, and the afternoon looks like it will be just perfect rally weather. The Canadian Rally Championship on TSN is brought to you by Subaru. Think, feel, drive Subaru. And by Yokohama Tires. Now, you've got control. And back out on the stages, the teams are attacking the final loop before heading to the legendary Helmer stage. Antoine Lestage looking good, closing in on his fourth Canadian Rally Championship.
The Rockstar Royal Group's performance this weekend has been representative of their entire season. Smooth and fast, yet smart. Combine those qualities with well-sorted teamwork and veteran support, and you have a championship formula.
And you know what? I have to agree with you, Paul, and that's why I'm convinced that Leo Erlichich isn't far away from challenging for his own title.
Leo's list of accomplishments keeps growing. Here in Merritt, he honestly held the lead against two former champions, albeit briefly. Leo is only tenths away from consistently playing on the same level as Richard Lestage.
And of course, we'll see a three-way battle for the lead. But now, having struggled with some bad luck through most of the season, Patrick Richard is finally putting it all together here on the mountain passes. And you have to believe, Paul, as well, it helps with Alan Ockwell back in the right-hand seat.
Yeah, no doubt, Vic. Richard and Ockwell have won so many times together that they fall into an easy rhythm with each other. As a driver, having a co-driver whom you can rely on frees your mind to concentrate on the mission behind the wheel. And a good case in point, Max Riddle's co-driver is far more than just the note caller. Yeah, Aaron Newman is an excellent driver in his own right, having won 2 regional championships. He's helping Max to hone his skills as a driver by coaching him on lines and techniques in addition to his duties as a co-driver. Max likens it to having a full-time instructor on board.
And Paul, then you add the fact that he gets the occasional training session with the master himself, Patrick Richard, and you've got the finest education that the rally world has to offer. And it is Richard that leads the teams into the last stage, and Riddle edges SCHMIDTKE now for fourth, and it all comes down to one of the most intense stages in the championship.
Yeah, we've got a good stage this afternoon. It's called Helmer. We go right down a mountain, and it's about 25K long.
Yeah, the Helmer stage is a fantastic stage. It's one of the best in the Canadian Championship for sure.
The good thing about it is that it's really long, so once you get in the rhythm, you just stay there.
Me being new at rallying gives me a bit of time to get a rhythm going. A couple of kilometers in, I get my rhythm going and just have fun for the rest of it.
Just a fantastic stage. There's some fast sections, some more technical sections, some crests and some stuff.
It's quite quick. It's got a little bit of everything, and usually makes an exciting finish for the rally because anything can happen on that stage.
And with only one pass through this stage, the teams will have only one chance to get it right. And if anyone knows how to nail the stage, Paul, Patrick Richard. Remember 2009?
I do. That was the year they ran Helmer 3 times. Richard and Ockwell set a new stage record on each of the 3 passes, the last one in complete darkness.
And he did it just to prove a point. It was a wonderful, heroic performance.
In over slippy, second crest. In by right minus in over crest, top long.
And here comes Crazy Leo, starting the Helmer stage.
For Leo, rallying is all about stages just like this. Long, fast, flowing, and technical. It's one of the great challenges in motorsport, and Leo is a driver first and foremost.
And Paul, let's remember too that every team, whether you're in Group 2 or you're at the top of the rally world, they have one thing in common. They do it because they love it. And the reward for his passion and his hard work today, Leo will go home third.
Hardy Schmidtke's battle with Max Riddle went right down to the last kilometer. In the end, the classic case of veteran experience versus youthful skill would go to the latter. Schmidtke collects 5th place, and Max earns a few more points for scoring a 4th place finish.
And Paul, every sport goes through a changing of the guard, and maybe we're seeing it here with the likes of a Max Riddle, and we'll expect to see him on a podium very soon. And now the moment. Antoine Lestage, Natalie Richard, only a couple of K away from another Canadian Rally Championship.
Yeah, not only will that tie Lestage with Patrick Richard for 4 spots on the Fiddler Cup, but it will mean that only 4 drivers in the 54-year history of Canadian rallying will have won more championships. His name is now approaching legends like Taisto Heinonen and Walter Boyce, Tom McGeer, and Frank Sprongel. It seems fitting somehow that they would be driving to victory here on this legendary stage.
As we ride along. And there it is. They've done it. Antoine and Natalie are the 2011 Canadian Rally Champions. Patrick Richard returns to the top of the podium, however, flanked by Lestage and Crazy Leo. Riddle manages to hold off Schmidtke for 4th.
2nd place points are enough to lock up the 2011 championship for Lestage. 2nd place is still up for grabs, and Crazy Leo trailing Richard by only 9 points.
And now it's time for Antoine and Natalie to celebrate.
Yeah, I think you're really happy with that 4th Canadian championship, and we came here knowing what the goal was, and that's what we did. Had a good run, the car was fine, and we are where we wanted to be, and we're winning the championship, so that was the main goal, and we're really happy with that.
And it is a brilliant return to form for Patrick Richard.
Oh, it's great to be back in the middle of the podium. I mean, we controlled the event from the beginning, and Alpine should be an interesting event. You know, I don't go to rallies to come second, so you know, we're gonna go for a win. You know, got a lot of experience with Alan. We won 2 championships together, and I think next year is gonna be our year. Hopefully we'll win 7 or 8 rallies in a row, and it'll be payback.
And with the championship decided, Paul, there is now nothing left to lose, which means the gloves will come off for the final event of the season, the Rally of the Tall Pines. And now for Paul Chater and our entire crew, thank you for joining us. The Canadian Rally Championship on Canada's Sports Leader, TSN.